What a world, what a media. I am Drewize, and this is Drewize PumpUp. Thank you for clicking on this particular video this morning, and thank you for viewing my previous videos here on YouTube called Drewize PumpUp. You know, thank you for viewing and thank you for clicking. Thank you for subscribe and viewing my other channel called Drewize Topics. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to get in this topic and talk about myself, why I got into exercise, and how it all started, you know. And first off, it all started about when I was a teenager, at 13, 14, through 18 years old, you know. But at that point, when I was 18 years old, I completely stopped lifting, lost all my gain, whatever, you know. But the reason, the source behind that, because I had men in my life, like my father, my uncle, my cousin, my mother's boyfriend at the time when we were staying in Columbus, Ohio for like a year or two. She'd been with this man named, what's his name? It was a long time ago, back in the late 90s. What was his name? I think his name was John, biracial name. And my mom was 28 and he was like 21. And this particular boyfriend, he was always being in the living room doing push-ups. Push-ups, you know. So I started getting into push-ups when I heard and I seen he do push-ups. My father, he was a built mass of a man. My uncle, my aunt's husband, he was a built mass of a man. My cousin, was a buff dude, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to look like that. I wanted to do that, you know what I'm saying? My father got me into lifting weights because before I was, like in middle school, I was always doing push-ups and sit-ups, and calf raises and things of that nature, and then I'd go to the park and do like pull-ups and chin-ups, what I'm saying? That's back when I was in middle school, So my father taught me the art of lifting weights, training my muscles to grow at the age of, say, 15, So that's how it started with me because I had men in my life and men that was family, And my mother, of course, she had a boyfriend that didn't last that very long. He was always into doing push-ups, you know what I'm saying? So I started doing that. So my cousin Brandon, we call him Boo. He was a buff family member of mine. He was buff. He played football. He went to college and things of that nature. Now he's pursuing of a religion that he's into. It's called the Jehovah Witness, whatever. Well, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? Peace be unto you. But yeah. So So that's how I got started into exercising. As you can see, I'm still making gains. You know what I'm saying? I got back on my regiment. Yeah. So it's been like now, it's been 3.5 years, going on 4 years since I got back on my regiment because I stepped away from my regiment when I was in high school. When I was in my 20s, I started to pick up weight, and I weighed like around 215 plus, and I got the changed thought in my mind, say I'm not going to live my life this way because people was mistaking me being older than what I was, and my health was starting to decline. Of course, my sex drive was declining. Because I had excess weight. And I was producing more estrogen. So I just thought like when I was 27, I'm going to make a change. I'm not going to live my life this way. I'm going to do a whole 360 turnaround and renew myself. So what I did was I cleaned out all of my food that was in my refrigerator and freezer, throughout all the processed food that was causing me to gain weight, throughout all the pork and all the sugar, this and that, you know what I'm saying, and pop and alcohol, and I just threw all that weight, and I turned around. I lost all that weight. I lost like 60 or 70 pounds. Total was 70 around there. I lost it in a year's time. So I got back on my regimen. It didn't take me long to get like where I'm at now, as you can see. Look at that. Look at that. Double bar pose again. Double bar pose. So I had a thought in my mind, how to make a turnaround, preserve my life, because I have children. I got 3 children, and I like to see them grow. I like to see myself with grandchildren, So, and great grandchildren. I said I want to live a long time, like a good old age, and still do what I do, So I made a vow to myself, and I made a vow to God. And I told God I would never drift away from my regiment. I would do this until I return back into the ground. So I made that vow with God, and I made that vow to myself. I have not drifted away. I have not missed no days. What I do, I do 7 days a week, or sometimes 6 days a week. And since today is Monday, I kind of like take a break, let my body just rest. Rest. So I'm gonna get back at it tomorrow, Tuesday. So what the key thing is to build muscle, you have to switch up your routine. You can take supplements if you want to. It's your choice. I believe that you can still grow muscle and muscle and muscle. I don't believe what people say at a period point in time you're going to stop growing. I don't believe that. I do not believe that at all. So reason why I say that, because science does not know the real knowledge of the body. Doesn't know. Only one person knows, and one being knows, is Him, God, the I Am Lord. He knows this body from the top to our head to the sole of our feet. He knows this body, So you have to keep switching up your routine. That's what I do. See, what I do is like 1 week, like if I do workout 7 days a week, it's like Monday, I do like chest, tricep, and calves, right? So I do that twice in that one day. The next day, I do like either back and biceps. I do it that day. And the other day, I do legs. And then I do either traps. And I throw in some cardio, And I switch it up. I always switch it up every week. I always switch it up to keep my body guessing. To keep my body guessing and having my body at a point like, oh, this is different. I have to grow. All that talk where people say all this, that your body will stop at a point, a muscle development. That's a lie. I do not believe that. It was a particular men on YouTube called the Hog Twins. I listen to them. I view their videos. I think they're funny, but all due respect, I don't believe when they said that in a 4-year time you will stop gaining muscle. I don't believe that. I do not believe that, because I was gaining size when I was in middle school. It was a certain white girl. I used to go to an all-white school, and this white girl said, oh, you look buff at the age of 14, 15 years old. My chest was developed. I was doing so much push-ups, and my abs, and when she touched my abs, I had an 8-pack, So you can still grow, Look at guys like Kali Muscle. Look at guys like C.T. Fletcher, Look at them guys. Them guys been doing this exercise, growing in muscle more than 25 years or 30 years or whatever. They still making gains, So I don't believe in all that, What's up in here, what you tell yourself up in here, as a visualize. You visualize yourself up in here, and you work at that vision that you in your mind. You would turn out that way. You know, them guys that you see on stage on IFBB or Mr. Olympia. You know what I'm saying? True enough, them guys are taking steroids. They are. If they do not say they're not, they are lying. They are taking steroids. Just like a legend bodybuilder, what's his name? Darren, not Darren. What is his name? Um, Doran Yanks, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He said once you come off steroids, you will lose that game. You know, I've been saying that for the longest. You know, Darren Yanks, whatever his name is he's from I think Australia or something. I don't know where he's from. You know who he is, YouTube. But the thing is, I had more of a motivation. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was influenced by men. You know, my father, my uncle, my cousin, my mother's boyfriend. I was influenced by men that exercise. You know, so that's why I wanted to do it, because before I was a skinny kid. I was a skinny, bony kid. You know what I'm saying? And I had a high metabolism. You know, so when I was 27 years old, I got the thought in my mind to say, I had enough. You know, my health is deteriorating and my sex drive is minimizing. I was developing, getting colds, getting sick with the flu and this and that. You know, the doctor's telling me that I am borderline diabetic, you know. So what I did was I stopped what I was eating that was causing my health, causing me to gain weight. I stopped drinking alcohol, you know. I stopped eating pork, you know, because pork is terrible meat. Pork is worse meat. Pork is foul. Pork is... Bodybuilders do not eat pork, you know. Why would bodybuilders eat pork when pork is nothing but fat and toxin? You know, bodybuilders eat food that's like lean meat, fruits and vegetables and things like that. I don't think no bodybuilder eats pork. You know, if you do, as a bodybuilder eats pork, it's a hinder to you. You know, so yeah, that's why I started getting into exercise and getting back on my regiment. You know, because it's a fact that the way how you take care of yourself, the right way, do you know you get a result of a outlook that you look younger than what you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm 29 and I'm going on 30 this November, and I don't even look my age. I look younger than 29. When I was in the barber shop, you know, get my hair lined up, get my hair lined up, whatever. And this 25-year-old black dude, he's 25. He said to me, he said, I'm 25, you're 29, you look younger than me. You know what I'm saying? For real. And the barber that cut my edges, lined me up, he said, I thought you was in high school. I didn't take no offense by that. I take it as a compliment, because my agenda is I do not want to look my age. I want to look younger. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't want to look my age. So, I mean, I may have a boyish look, whatever, but that's all right. You know what I'm saying? That is all right, for real, because I know that I'm a man. And when I go into certain liquor stores, I don't drink. Remind you, I don't drink. But I have a woman that she chooses to drink here and there. You know, that's what she want to do. That's what she want to do, you know. But she knows that I don't drink anymore. And I look like, well, I still encourage her to come away from drinking too. You know, because she's 28, years old. You know. So, I mean, when I go into a liquor store to purchase the liquor for her on a particular day, like I say Easter or some type of family gathering that she, want me to do, I purchase it for her like I did last time for her and her sister or something like that, So when I was in the store, the clerk, he looked at me and was like, let me see an ID, you know what I'm saying? Because he's thinking I'm a teenager. He ain't trying to get a liquor license taken away from him by dealing with me because he's thinking I'm a teenager or whatever. So, that's my story, why I got into exercise, why I started lifting weights. Because of my father, my uncle, my cousin, my mother's boyfriend. Men in my life that encouraged me and influenced me to get into these things. You know, I heard stories that how big my father was. I heard stories how big my uncle was. I seen how big my cousin was. I seen how my mother's boyfriend at the time, he had a more of a slender, ripped look. You know, he was slender, but he was always doing push-ups in the living room. So I want to talk about that a little bit. You know, just to encourage you, like if I was obese at a particular time, and I say this to you, you can do it also. You can lose weight. Don't use excuses like saying, I don't have time. There's plenty of time. You can make time. If I can lose the weight, you can lose the weight. You know, if I can build muscle, you can build muscle. You know, it's a fact that this country, the USA, is number one in obesity. There is more percentage of fat people, obese people, than people that are in shape. If the people that are in shape, there's a low percentage, but there's a high percentage of people that's obese. That's a fact. So this country is the fatted calf. People in this country are overweight, and that's a shame. We need to turn it around. The percentage of people that need to be in shape need to be a high rate, but the people that's obese like that need to be brought down to a low percentage. Yes. Drewize PumpUp. I am Drewize. Thank you. Please subscribe. You know, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Good morning to you. Have a wonderful morning. Peace.